What's going on, y'all? This is John with Facemask Fantasy, bringing you new fantasy content every day. And today we are starting our rookie profiles for the 2022 season. We will be going over every notable rookie in this year's draft, both now, post-combine, and post-NFL draft, as well as bringing you up-to-date analysis on all free agency happenings and any general NFL-related content as it relates to fantasy football. So stay tuned with us throughout the offseason to get the coverage you need on this rookie class and everything fantasy football to dominate in all your fantasy leagues next year. But let's get right into the subject for today, Texas A&M's running back Isaiah Spiller. Isaiah Spiller is an exciting running back prospect who has had consistent production while playing in a very competitive SEC conference, something that we like to see from running back prospects as he put up his numbers against as tough a competition as you'll find outside of the NFL. He's 6'1", 225 pounds, so Isaiah Spiller has extremely good size for his position. He's currently in conversation in most mocks and rankings as a top 3 back, but he's yet to fully take the reins as far as I'm concerned as the top dog at RB in this year's draft. He's in competition with Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. As far as what he did on the field in college, Spiller ran well as a freshman in 2019, averaging 5.4 yards per carry for 946 yards and 10 touchdowns. He also caught 29 passes for 203 yards, and Spiller was even better as a sophomore, averaging 5.5 yards per carry for 1,036 yards and 9 touchdowns. He recorded 20 receptions for 193 yards through the air as well, and he recorded 3.4 average yards after contact and 32 rushes of 10 or more yards as a sophomore. 651 of his 1,036 yards that season came after first contact. Despite having average speed, Spiller is a big play waiting to happen. His 32 rushes over 15 yards are impressive over his first 2 years, particularly again when you realize that he plays in the best conference in college football. Most of his big plays were the result of a broken tackle or two, but he was still quick enough to outrun defenses, at least enough to satisfy the metric. And as a junior in 2021, Spiller improved his yards per carry once again, averaging 5.6 yards per carry for 1,011 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also put up 25 catches for 189 yards and a touchdown through the air. All in all, in 3 years in college, he totaled 2,993 rushing yards, 25 touchdowns, while also catching 64 passes for 585 yards and a touchdown. As mentioned before, the biggest knock on Spiller is his speed. We don't yet have his athletic measurables as they don't come out until the combine or the pro days are held, but he's commonly viewed as a power back who lacks top-end speed, which might limit him to some extent once he makes the jump to the NFL. It didn't stop him from showing out against SEC competition in college, but in the NFL, it is a different beast. So Spiller most likely won't be notching many 50-plus yard touchdowns in the NFL. However, he will most likely grind out those 4, 5, 6-yard carries that can be just as important on game day for an NFL team. At the next level, Spiller will most likely be a power back capable of taking on a big workload and being a physical runner who wears out defenses. As a prospect, he's a strong back who charges through defenses and picks up a lot of yards after contact, and his college target share is 8.9%, which is a very healthy number for a running back and highlights his versatility as an option out of the backfield. At the end of the day, when we look for comparisons for Spiller, it's kind of hard for me to pigeonhole him in as a prospect to a comparison, but I could see him straddling the line between a Leonard Fournette and a James Conner. Now, I know that's not the sexiest comparison, but let me explain to you why that can still be very valuable for you and your fantasy team. Both Fournette and Conner are versatile backs who are safety valves out of the backfield for their quarterback, good on the goal line and in short yardage situations. And while most seasons they aren't top 6 or even top 10 backs in the NFL, they can easily be top 16 to 18 options weekly, year in, year out, and be rock solid high-end RB2s for your fantasy team for the foreseeable future, with RB1 upside if and when everything goes right for the player in a given season. Fournette coming out was a more complete prospect, and Spiller does not have the overall athleticism that Fournette had coming out, which is where the Conner comparison comes into play as a player with similar build to both, but one who lacked speed coming into the NFL. Again, we do not yet have Spiller's athletic measurables as they don't come out until the combine or pro days are held, but he projects to run a 40-yard dash somewhere in the 4.5s. If it's close to a 4.5 flat, he projects more like Fournette than Conner. If it's closer to a 4.6, he moves slightly closer to the James Conner side of the spectrum, but personally I think that's a fair comparison for him. I've also seen slightly slower Arian Foster comparisons out there too, for what that's worth, which would make sense to me and for any of you old heads out there who remember the Texans running back from more than a decade ago. It might be aging myself a little bit there, but I do think the comparison stands. But what do y'all think? Put your thoughts in the comment section below, or even better yet, tune into one of our weekly live streams and have a direct conversation with us about Isaiah Spiller and any other rookies or NFL players or general fantasy football situations that you would like to discuss. We have a live stream every Tuesday at 6 p.m. EST, and we have a live stream every Saturday. We normally hold our Saturday streams at 6 p.m. EST as well, but we will be holding our Saturday streams at 2 p.m. EST until the NFL games are no longer being played on Saturday afternoons, at which point we will resume streaming at 6 p.m. EST. So come and join us, join in on our discussions, and as always, my name's John. This is Facemask Fantasy, bringing you new fantasy content every day right here on this channel. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for listening and have a great day.